Oh, Everything's here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're here to draw another comic, hang out, answer questions. Happy December, everybody. So I'm a little ahead. As you can see, I've been cheating just a little bit, but it's just because we got a lot of effects and stuff to draw. So first of all, glove time. I would have started a little bit earlier, except my kids had a little toothpaste emergency in the bathroom before bedtime. So it's all cleaned up. It's all good.
Now, in my mind, I envision toothpaste emergency in the bathroom as a very, very large mess that just foams when you clean it.
Yeah, that was basically about what it was.
Nice.
That was pretty close.
Yeah, meanwhile, I had a Chipotle emergency where my Chipotle salad had excess water in it, so when I pulled it out of the bag, I got beef juice all over my leg. Well, my cats enjoyed the idea. They thought that was great until they just realized that it was just water. Yeah.
I think it was what got me was the phrase beef juice.
Well, there's no other way to describe it, man. Well, barbacoa is beef, right?
Say what now?
The barbacoa is beef.
Oh, I have no idea. From Chipotle?
Well, yeah, it was barbacoa juice, whatever meat that is. I think it's shredded beef. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm so tired of dealing with the music situation. Until I can sit down and make a playlist, that I was just like, forget it. Tonight, we're playing Christmas music. It's December. That's how it's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure that when this goes live on YouTube, I'm going to get emails all night long going, oh my God, copyright violation.
In the true spirit of Christmas, right?
Yep. But just in case, I will tell you guys that music tonight is being provided, whether they like it or not, by Soma FM. So go check them out. Listener-supported radio in San Francisco, in Soma, south of Market neighborhood. They do amazing stuff. They're an amazing station to listen to. You can stream them, get mobile apps, the whole 9 yards. And they have awesome Christmas channels. This just happens to be the Christmas Lounge. I'm sure you'll hear the advertisement play, but like I said, it's not like your radio station where every, half a song is 6 commercials.
And this is the time of year where Kevin just flips out and listens to Christmas music pretty much nonstop.
That's it.
And by time of year, I mean any time after Thanksgiving meal.
Yep.
Like as soon as Thanksgiving lunch is over, Kevin is in full on, this is Christmas music time. It does not matter if he's driving in his car chilling. He's got the Christmas tunes.
That's right.
Nothing
wrong with that.
I'm not complaining because you wait until after Thanksgiving. Some people think that it's a Columbus Day thing or something ridiculous like that. Nope. You got to let the Pilgrims and Indians have their due before you start to commercialize Christmas.
I don't even know about that this year. I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of starting to think that we should just forget Thanksgiving. Just forget it. Just forget it.
That's true. Well, I like the idea of a holiday where family gets together. They're thankful for things. Like the concept of what it is, just its roots make it a very difficult holiday to like dive in and say, let's just celebrate this thing.
Well, it's especially for us in the States, in America.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I never get on the stream and assume that A, everyone's male or female or otherwise, and B, that you're just from America, because that would be rude of me to assume. So I try to always assume that that's not the case, in which case you probably, if you're not from America, don't care about Thanksgiving anyway, or you have your own type of holiday similar to that, but probably for a lot better reasons than ours was conceived. So,
Well, I think ours was conceived in a they're trying to do something good with it, because I think it was conceived as a family holiday.
Yeah.
Type idea. It's just it came from a very naive period in American history, I think.
Yeah.
Or when we look back on, hey, you know what, that was, and if you look back on American history, that was probably one of the few times that our relationships with the indigenous people was a positive one.
Yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, because we were like, oh man, thank you so much for bailing us out of our bad planning and lack of knowledge of this area that we're coming to live in. And oh, by the way, get off of our land that's now ours.
Well, that's only after you teach us how to live here.
Yeah, right.
Now that we know how to live here, we can just sort of push you off somewhere else. Yeah. Oh, America and its wonderful history.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
But I still love the place.
Well, yeah, somebody's got to stick around and make sure that kids know what's right
Hmm,
and
that's
when
right.
and when to listen to Christmas music.
That's exactly right. So you got some detailed work to do tonight, huh?
Not really. I mean, it's not detailed. There's just a lot of effectsy stuff, but I'm getting away with some. Yeah, I figured that would happen. Multiple referring. No. There we go. I don't think that reads. I don't think that reads as an eyeball.
It almost looks like bat ears on that. Like Batman's turned to the side.
It basically is. He's a bad guy.
There you go. Oh, like Batman?
That's right. This is our main villain in Legend of Bill, Warwick's. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this is definitely copyright all to pieces. You know what they should do? Christmas music that is after a certain age should be like public domain. They should just open it up.
Well, I think that's pretty much the rule. Is music after a certain age is public domain.
Yeah.
It's just that's 75 years plus, life of performer or something along those lines.
Good lord.
But that's only for the like the recorded instance, and then like there's different rules for
Live performances.
like you can do live performances of somebody else's music
Right.
and be okay as long as the medium's paid whatever the performance royalties or whatever.
Yeah.
And that stuff, I think those are the songs that are more likely to go public domain. Is the actual sheet music. It will go public domain long before the recordings do.
Right.
So, and then the recordings are solely up to the choice of the artist on how that's handled. Well, by artist I mean the person who owns the copyrights of
Yeah.
said recording.
Whoever bought the rights to the song.
Yeah. I know. What was it? It's a Wonderful Life was in public domain for a while.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do with it?
Every station showed it like nonstop.
Yeah.
Because it was in public domain and everybody loved it. Because the company that owned the rights to it forgot to renew its copyright extension or something like that.
Whoops.
But the version most people see is the colored, remastered, blah, 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 which, of course, is a new release of the film. So it's under copyright restrictions.
Bad guy lightning. You gotta have bad guy lightning. Every bad guy needs lightning and a theme song.
That's pretty true. Yeah, I think the Emperor pretty much set the bar for that, right?
That's right. Whoa. Slowest save ever. While that's going, I'll check the other channels.
You know, if the bad guy didn't have lightning, what other type effect would you expect from a bad guy when he pops up?
Uh,
The only thing I can think of is like an
Fire.
earth shake or something. A fire would be, yeah, a big flame that would appear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. I guess it depends on how the guy appears. Like if he appears just up out of the earth, then a fire or something like that would be pretty cool. Maybe if you're by the ocean, a large wave, tsunami type thing.
I saw one of those sort of clickbait pages, the other day that was talking about, and I meant to look it up to see if it was true. That was talking about large crystals that were found in some cave in Mexico. That were super super huge, underground in this cave. They don't know how old. They don't know anything about them, but they found them, and now they're going to start studying them. And it was one of the things I looked at, and it was like on Mashable or one of those sites.
Right,
And
right.
I was like, oh man, I really want to read this, but
I don't want to have to click through 25 pages.
yeah, right. It's like I know what's going to happen here.
Right, right. And then at the end, you're going to see that dude from the History Channel that talks about aliens.
Yeah,
Right.
right, exactly. It's aliens, bro.
Who, as it turns out, he has some sort of liberal arts degree or something like that. Like he has no degree in like archaeology or history or alienology,
Alienology.
science,
There it is.
anything like that, right? At least he has nothing that like would make this dude an expert other than his hair and his willingness to shill whatever, theory, that they're trying to show on the TV show. I mean, had the guy been like a scientist or any sort of science, like he had been a person of any sort of science, I would at least have a little bit of respect for him bringing his science into some sort of
Except for like computer science, because that's a waste of science.
well, when it deals with aliens completely, right? Because you know that all you need is your Mac and a floppy disk, and you can infect their machine, their ships with a virus, right?
They're super high tech, light speed traveling. Yeah. The tech is so old they'd never see it coming.
That's exact. Well, I mean, that's sort of a War of the Worlds type thing too, in a bizarre sort of way. The humans are so lowly evolved that you never expect that their cold would cause us problems.
Isn't that a pretty normal theme in time travel as well? Like that it's nowhere near possible, because if we were to go back to like 1800, we would instantly die and or kill everyone else because of our different disease.
I've never seen somebody actually like turn that obviously into like a 4-panel or a short story. I haven't seen that. I've seen people discuss it before though. Right?
Yeah.
That if you did it, that you would either come back with like the bubonic plague and no way of, protecting yourself and dying out,
Right.
or you would give everybody smallpox and they would all die.
Right.
Which maybe that's what happened to the Indians and the blankets were fine. Maybe it was time travelers trying to investigate, the founding of the colonies.
I could see that. That's probably what it is. It's the Not even any dialogue. This is all action. And he's got one of these like super craggly, broken looking wizard hands.
Nice.
Like you can't even do this. Like you can't even make this hand, but
It's like full-on arthritis is what it is.
yeah, well he's evil. He's got to have the craggly
Right.
the craggly emperor hand to the nth degree though, right?
Right. But usually you think of that because the person has been alive for so long, right? That their body, the only thing that's sustaining them is their evil energy.
That's pretty much works. Yeah.
At least that was always my excuse for the Emperor and how he looked.
Actually, he just force lightninged his own face.
That could be it too.
No, I mean that is it.
Did you do that on purpose?
Nope. He was fighting Mace Windu, and Mace Windu reflected his lightning off his lightsaber, and it went back onto him and gave him Butterface.
Wow. So they have an explanation for everything in that universe, huh?
Well, it was in the movie.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Sorry, Mace Windu.
I'm not surprised. I'm giving you a pass because of this loungy Christmas music.
Well, in all fairness, I only saw like that trilogy like I think once.
What, the prequels?
Yeah.
I'll let that slide.
Yeah, well, except for like on holiday time, every now and then you'll see the pod race scene when you flip through television.
Yeah.
And I just keep flipping. So it takes a purple lightsaber to reflect the energy from the Emperor, huh?
Nope. Anyone will do.
Oh, you just have to be good enough.
Yep.
Good old Mace.
That's all it takes. Your onboard body parasites just have to be good enough.
Well, I guess you are talking about the first trilogy, so the prequels. So that is a valid statement.
There's a pretty cool fan theory that Jar Jar was actually, at least in some way, shape, or form, going to be a Sith Lord, and he was just playing the fool the entire time.
I've seen that, and I've also seen the one where he was a secret Jedi too. But I like the one where he's a Sith Lord playing the fool. Yeah.
The Sith Lord playing the fool, I've had semi confirmed by sources. But
well, that sounds like revisionist though, right?
No, it was apparently that was the plan. And then when the backlash happened from the character, it was like, okay, cancel these shots and just put him in the Senate. Like, stuff had already been boarded and everything for that plan.
Wow.
And then Lucas was like, and this is just what I've heard, of course. And then Lucas was like, nope, we're changing plans. Reduce his role tremendously, because yikes.
But see, I think that would have made a lot of the backlash be like, holy crap, this is awesome, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it would have justified the character. But you know what? I don't think, unless he pulled out like documents that had been like notified by a notary, and dated before the movie was released that this was his plan.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe that was initially his plan, and they would say, "Oh, you're just trying to save yourself from releasing the most hated character in the universe."
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I have it on pretty good authority.
You know people who know people.
So, but who knows? Who knows if that's the case or not? Who knows? There's no telling.
Well,
No telling.
JJ already has a way of still making it happen, right?
No, I think he's out.
Is he done now? He's come and he's left his mark.
Look at this. Look at this craggly, crazy hand. Could you even do that? Could you even get like? I love it. I'm coming here. I'm gonna. You know what I should do? I should try and put some like hand veins.
Yeah.
And then get. Oh. Sounds like Dean Martin and his show.
Some of those crooners in there, huh?
Yeah, listen to those people laughing. There's just no reason.
Yeah. Well, I bet their dancing's sort of funny because that's sort of what they did back then. You know, it wasn't enough to just sort of sing; you had to entertain.
It's probably like, oh yeah, something's going on. I hear the laugh track going. I gotta flip over and see now. I gotta see who this is. Let's see. Yep, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Christmas with the Rat Pack. Nice. So there you go.
So, speaking of that era and that genre, what's your thoughts on "Baby It's Cold Outside"? Should that still be a Christmas classic, or is it too rapey?
Oh, it's 100% rapey. There's no two ways about that. Like, I mean, it's kind of now. I think it's kind of transcended to Christmas classic because of the gross rapiness.
Interesting, because I would almost think it's the inverse, right? Is that the in that time period it was just overlooked because all those statements were just things you would say, right? You know, and it wasn't not to say that it was legit and on the up and up, but
no.
we're talking about Mad Men era where
I hear you.
You nailed you got your secretary drunk and nailed her at an office party and it was no big deal.
Yeah.
But now, like when you look at it in a little bit more refined light, you're like, well, holy crap.
No, that song is totally rapey. I mean, there's
should it stay in Christmas rotation then?
It has as much right to be there, I guess, as the Africa Relief song.
Do they know it's Christmas time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't.
That makes so many horrible assumptions in the vein of like trying to feel bad, right? I feel bad for all these poor African children because they don't know it's Christmas. Well, half the reason they don't know it's Christmas is because they don't celebrate any of your holidays.
Well, that and the fact that it's like there'll be no snow in Africa this year, and that's like, or any year, except for what?
If you give us enough money, maybe we'll send a fake snow machine over, and let the poor starving children experience snow before they die.
You know what? That would be the if only it would snow in Africa, then there wouldn't be any problems.
Well, maybe that's what all the global climate change stuff is all about. Is we're trying to make it snow in Africa.
It blows my mind. That song just makes like, uh,
Yeah, and it came from a good place for somebody. But even just the commercialism that was thrown on top of it, and okay, this is a way of raising money and helping people. You're like, somebody made millions of dollars off of this, right?
oh, and still is, no doubt. But
Yeah.
yeah, that song is terrible.
I mean, it's like trying to listen to any of the John Lennon stuff and ignore the fact that he was a very horrible person to his wife, his first wife, and his first child.
Right.
And even Yoko, he treated her pretty badly in many instances, right?
Yeah.
But he's written these wonderful love songs that you're just like, oh, somebody who says this must be absolutely wonderfully in love with somebody, completely consumed
Himself.
by that person. Well, right, but that's what it is. Is they're consumed by them, but
Oh, you know what? I need to do something different here.
that's why places like Big Idea were so important.
You know what though? I can do this way. Yeah, right.
I say tongue in cheek because they could produce a nice, clean, wonderful thing, and there'd be nothing negative attached to it.
All right, now how do I do this? I guess I'll do.
Picked up a new electrolyte drink yesterday at GNC.
Oh yeah.
I had avoided that store for the longest time because I was like, you know what? I don't need any of that hippie seed, natural remedy concoctions and stuff, right?
Right.
Because I had just assumed that that's all they stocked.
No, not at all.
And I went in there and it was like, hey, everything I've been looking for in supplements is here. And they had a nutritionist on staff that was talking to me. I just wanted to go in looking for a low carb electrolyte replacement, right?
Yeah.
Because the most common electrolyte replacement people use is Gatorade, and Gatorade has way too much sugar in it for me for my diet.
Right.
So I was just looking for anything, and I gotten some stuff previously, and it tasted like really, really weak lemonade, or or it was like I would get like 15 tablets for $5 or something like that.
Right.
And well, no, it was like 15 tablets for like $10 or something. So it was, so I was like, okay, that's not quite enough. I need a little bit more. Went in there looking, and of course they hooked me up with something that was great. And they're like, do you want something with energy or without? Because some of them have caffeine, some of them don't have caffeine. Like, oh, this is great. But everything else I've been looking for. And the nutritionist talked to me for a while.
You're like, I need the Red Bull of electrolyte replacements, please.
Well, there are some people who believe that the caffeine in the pre and post workout drinks help with energy burn. So it's not just like giving you energy like you would think, like, oh, I'm sitting in my office job, I need energy. Right. But like stuff to help, boost your body. But it was nice. Went in there. She hooked me up with some stuff. Got my fish oil.
Right.
For my joints.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And like some of this is stuff I'm like, oh, I won't need that until I'm old.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm old.
Yep. Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, between the ongoing cramps that I would have every night, like leg cramps or something like that, and how sore I would feel when I get up in the morning after going to the gym. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care if this is hippie weed seed. I'm gonna eat this stuff.
Welcome to old.
Yeah. I have started to accept that maybe there's science in a lot of things. Just because it says natural remedy doesn't mean it's no good.
Yeah, this is one of those more, like I said, this is one of those more like sort of effectsy strips.
Nice.
Dee, 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 dee.
So this is like one of those where if you had that little character, like the mascot that broke the fourth wall, it broke the third wall. Let me pretend like I know what I'm talking about.
Yep, continue.
You know what I'm talking about? He'd turn and make some sort of comment about the lack of dialogue or something. You know what I mean? Those little dudes.
I'm just humoring you.
Yeah, I know you are.
It's a
do you
good,
even
it's a good thing you did. A very good thing.
do you even allow my mic on for the stream? That's just what I'm wondering.
I should definitely do a shadow there, but looks a little too meh. That's a technical term. Meh.
Yeah, I've definitely heard it before in a technical arena.
Meh. That's my usual technical term. Meh. Kind of sounded like Lou Rawls there for a little bit. Think what we have here is a reason to use purple. Let's try that.
That is a lot of purple.
Well, you got to start with the flats because it's kind of like acrylics, right? You're like painting back to front, sort of.
That makes sense. Plus you can use it as a very bright, vibrant color to find where you're missing your fill too.
Yeah, I mean that helps tremendously.
Well, he just looks 100 times more evil now.
I'll do another. I'll do another pass on. Yeah, all this stuff is going to actually be glowing eventually. Let me do.
Yeah, I
some...
thought you were just going to use the line, but I like that. I like the fill there.
Yeah. I need to flip over to my reference. I don't know that we've ever seen him in good full color. I do know that his skin is pretty gray.
Sort of vampiric.
Yeah, I'll come back over that in a minute.
I can't think of just like when you think of like bad guys.
Yeah.
I can't think of a bad guy that's had like a healthy skin tone either.
Yeah. Well, they don't moisturize those bad guys.
Right? Like I'm trying to think of like all the Disney bad guys, like think through them, and honestly, as far as like healthy bad guys go, Gaston was probably the only one.
Yeah. Actually, I think you're right.
Unless you consider that stupid prince in Frozen.
The stupid prince in Frozen. Oh.
The one that was trying to win the princess's hand, and so he could take the kingdom.
The one that was less than honorable.
Yes.
He's been listening to "Baby It's Cold Outside" a little too much.
Oh, had they actually put that concept in a Disney movie, that would be interesting.
See how bad that looks. It's not terrible. It needs to be there. I need it. I think something else is going to happen as well. But for right now, we're going to do that. And then his coat should be a dark burgundy. But not on the mono layer. On the flats layer. It's a little too purpley. Except, actually, you know what? I'm just going to draw it in. Ooh. I'm digging this, whatever it is, soundtrack-wise here.
Is this the same channel?
Yeah.
Huh.
Christmas Lounge. I like to think of like I'm shopping in the Gap at Christmas time.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to color like a kid to get it in. Then I think what I'm going to do is come in here and use that way too much.
So that's like the lining of his.
Yeah, I just wanted something to kind of just pop it off a little bit, so it just wasn't so solid right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm going to come here and grab here.
Well, he definitely looks like a bad guy.
He's not nice. No. Definitely not nice. Let's grab you. And then we'll pop you in there. Except what we'll do is we'll come here and do that.
We're doing a transparency.
I might do it as an overlay. Nope, nope, nope. That's gonna bite the other around it. So I'll just do transparency on it. Just to keep it as a flat. And then I'm gonna go ahead and save it. I haven't saved yet, guys.
Wow. You are risky.
I know.
Yeah. Where's all your friends in chat reminding you to save?
Yeah, no, they're not here tonight. Everybody's gone. It must have been a rough Monday around the old offices today because everybody's checked out.
Yeah, it could be that they all did their week of Cyber Monday shopping that is now a week-long event for some reason, and they're just done with the internet for a day.
It could also be that we need to spice this sucker up.
It could be.
I don't think that's a could be, but hey, there was a weight screen this time. That's improvement.
That is impressive. So that way people would come by and go, "Pfft," as opposed to just going, "Oh, these two."
Well, no, normally though it's like I have to start the stream and then I have to go and get YouTube going and get the other stuff going. The start scene allows me to get everything streaming, like literally streaming, and then say hi to everybody at the same time.
Well, that's nice. You don't want to do like a staged rollout
Yeah,
because
before it was...
inevitably some group will feel left out.
All right, guys. Magic of Manga Studio. Let's do this. Whoops. Here we go. Check this out. Let me find it.
While you're using your the cells or whatever they call it.
Well, it has a lot of like halftones and stuff in here too.
Yeah, the tones. Tones, that's what they call it.
But where's my things? Oh, hey, let's use this. He's outside of a school, a manga school.
There you go. The schoolyard, huh?
Oh no.
That's awesome.
The villains appeared at the school.
Oh. Well, you know, the school courtyards are pretty much all the same.
Yeah. Well, I don't
There's
really
a-
want... Where's my effect stuff? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
There's a reason all the school courtyards are the same, you know? Because they draw what's simple. Just like the main characters are always in the back left corner of the room.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, it's because they don't want to have to draw the rest of the class.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
You know? They take shortcuts, you know, just like everybody else. They put them in the back left, so that way they're like, look, you know, so their background is the outside, and you know, the classroom wall. And very rarely will they actually have like a character that's sort of like front and middle, unless that's super important to the character's personality.
let's see, what do we need to do here? We need it above the flats, but we need... Can we adjust a mask on this, or does it need to be rasterized? Let's rasterize it. And then... I mean, I don't know if I'm liking that or not. It's a little too black on the edges, I feel like, but... I say let's try it anyway. If for nothing else, just as a fun experiment. Alright, now let's see what we need to do here. We need to add a mask to this guy, and then we need to come down here and select adjacent pixel, purple. Oh, it's got everything.
That's my other problem with like a Christmas music channel.
Yeah.
Is you're going to end up hearing the same songs. They may be different versions, but you're going to end up hearing the same songs.
No, that's true. That's very true.
That's because people don't write enough Christmas songs.
Also
or
true.
if they do, it's ones that polarize people. Like, don't they know it's Christmas, or Happy Christmas, war is over.
One thing I want to do though is get rid of all this other selection. So I'm gonna go here and alt out all of that. So we're just dealing with that one. Then we'll copy paste the layer, set the transparency, get rid of our selection, grab our gradient, grab the purple, we'll set it on add.
You just said a whole bunch of really geeky stuff.
Rico Anime, hi there, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. This software is, well, it actually has two names. So the American name is Manga Studio Pro. The actual name of the software in Japan is Clip Studio Paint, or CSP. So all depending on where you buy it in the States, if you're in the US, you may get Manga Studio, or you may get Clip Studio Paint. This in particular, what you're looking at is Clip Studio Paint, which you can see up here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but you'll see up at the top where it says Clip Studio Paint. That's the Japanese version, and kind of the only version they have now, which is great. I love it. Love this software. Very, very fun to draw with. Very good. I have custom brushes here. Oh, you're okay. So Clip Studio Paint then, and you can get it in the U.S. The distributor is Smith Micro. Not sure about the EU. Probably check smithmicro.com, and they might send you to the EU equivalent. But it's I love the software. It's great. And I was just demoing like some of the action lines here. I used the Beta Flash 01 on this panel of our bad guy popping in here. And we're listening to some Christmas music, so some funky lounge Christmas music. And I kind of have a weird way. I just lay in the flats. There's another colorist that comes in and will do the final colors if you ever go to the strip. This is Legend of Bill, legendofbill.com. And this is actually today's strip. You'll see it post a little later tonight. But I'm just doing some quick flats for the colorist, just to add a little variety until he gets to gets to it. Don't know if I want that. Yeah, see, that kind of hits everything. I do like the ability in the round to.
Where'd you say that was? Clip Studio Pro, Kevin?
Clip Studio Paint EX. Oh yeah.
I'll type it out for you.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Toll Dog. Clip Studio Paint EX. EX is the pro, sort of the pro version. And I believe it will cost, at least in U.S. dollars, about $100.
You said it. Smith Micro, right?
I would start there and see. There may be a different distributor. You can order a physical disc, like a CD, or you can just download it. I just download it. But yeah, it's great. Really great.
Yeah, I mean, you've been using that. I mean, you've flipped through a couple tools, but you definitely you can definitely keep coming back to it.
Oh, and I still break out Photoshop too, you know, because Photoshop is still awesome for a lot of color. If I was doing harder color than this, I would be in Photoshop without a doubt. But for this, it's totally fine.
But for the tones, I mean, you don't have anything like the tones in Photoshop. You'd have to find something like that, right?
Oh yeah, you'd have to make your own basically.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest selling points for a tool like this. You know, for at least for if you know the art style, like if you're gonna do manga or something like that, this is pretty much, you know, the full toolkit.
Oh yeah. And I mean this software is 100% based on doing manga, and so you can't beat that. Cannot beat it, and it does it so well. And you'll see that I have this like purple outline here. That'll actually go away once it's all done. That's just the frame, which this software also does. If you'll notice, you'll see my mouse over here. I need to get one of those mouse highlighters, but where I'm circling is the frame. So you can actually come in and adjust your comic frame with like drawing tools, and it is awesome. Let me save this. Are you dropping coins in your piggy bank, Tell Dog?
No, it's the I've got a blender bottle.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Gotcha.
So it's got that springy ball in the middle.
Yeah.
So I take a drink, and then when I finish, it goes boing, 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 boing.
All right, so Rico, if you're still hanging with us, check this out. This is cool. This is neat. I don't know. I mean, this would definitely be useful, you know. But
oh, they got a bunch of clip art there, huh?
yeah, so you can also, there's like a 3D aspect to this as well. Now, I got a lot of stuff running on this machine, so I don't know if it's going to hold up. But if you wanted to get a pose, right, you can actually adjust. You can actually adjust the pose and adjust things, right? So this is like the playing soccer pose, you know. So you can come in and sort of. How cool is this? It basically is like one of those wooden dummies to give you a pose.
What? No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had this.
Yeah, and it's human IK. So you can actually just come in and grab, right? Or I can turn in one axis like this if I wanted this crazy line of action, you know? Like we're just having, this guy's having just the happiest time ever.
Either that or he just got hit in the head with a ball.
And he's like, hey, look over here. this software is now. I would never, ever, ever tell you to just copy this, okay? But you can, and it lives in its own layer. So when you go back here to like this drawing layer, so I can turn the opacity of this way down, right? And then I can get my own pencil or whatever, right? And if I have a character that is, you know, whoops, I could have drawn in. If I have a character, you know, that has like this, but maybe the waist is smaller, and I want to do, you know, like bigger hips, like it's a little more cartoony, you know, then like bigger calves and like the foot. If I want to do a bigger cartoony foot, maybe for whatever reason, you know. What I'm saying is that you can still use this as a reference. Get that big cartoony foot and like, you know, bigger calves. But isn't that cool? I mean, like you can totally.
So you have no reason to ever miss a pose.
Yeah, if you want to take the time, and I mean, it gives you this sort of volume contours, right? Which is just cool, absolutely cool.
Oh, this is really nice.
Yeah. So, you know, and then like if you wanted to add another layer, and come in and do like clothing, right? You know, so like if you're going to do a skirt and it was going to fall over the knee here, you know exactly where, like here's your waist of your skirt, right? And then that's probably going to come that way, and then that's behind. Yeah, so you pretty much know exactly. And then when you're doing your wrinkles, I mean, you can see where the leg is coming through, you know, and then you can see your pinch points for doing folds. I mean, it's super cool.
You just blew my mind. And I don't even understand half this artist stuff, but
yeah, they have a lot of stuff, and they have like a lot of props, and a lot of it is I don't know why they have like seized by the collar. Told Dog, you watch a lot more anime than me, so
yeah.
These are supposed to be like very like basic.
Yeah, that's
anime poses, like
Oh yeah, that's what happens. Schoolyard or the schoolyard bullies, or or like if you're running away and the teacher grabs you.
Yeah.
It's like, because they all wear that standard school uniform, right?
Right. This is a good one. Not a banana peel again.
Do they have the I can't remember the term for it, but the wall slap?
The wall slap?
Yeah, there's a term for it. It's basically how the macho guy makes the confession to the girl.
They have slapped. Psh.
I'm sure they have that.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, yeah, the wall slap is where the guy leans up against the wall and smacks it.
Oh, I see.
And you know, he's got one arm that's leaning up against the wall, and like the left side of the female, and then his right hand is what smacks the wall on the other side.
Oh, I see. So Rico,
Yeah.
you've got Photoshop 2017. I see old version. I don't know what I can if I want to learn that. You know what? Basically, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, you're still making layers. You're still, and ultimately, it's all drawing, right? And if you're really interested in drawing, then draw on whatever you can find. Every piece of paper, everything you can do. If you really want it, draw it. And the software just needs practice. You know, the more you work with it, the better you'll get, and the more that the software will get out of your way and just basically become a tool. And that's kind of what you're going for. That's kind of what you want. So I'm feeling like feeling like I don't want to overdo this too much more. I may do a couple of things. Could be fun to actually, let's grab one of those other patterns.
Interesting. I see a couple different names for it. I've seen the wall smack. I've seen somebody call it the cicada block. But the cicada block is more full body. Cave Don.
You know, the problem with me doing this, though, is that it's not going to line up with my lines of action, which were terrible in some ways. Oh, hey, thanks, Rico. I actually don't use Skype, unfortunately, but I haven't had a need for Skype in a long time.
I was just cleaning up my Skype contacts the other day, and I saw your name in there, and I was just like, "Oh."
It's been a long time.
I don't think I've ever talked to you on Skype.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah.
We've always had like Google Chat or something like that.
Yeah, there's always been some other thing. Follow Jason. And Rico, one of the things that with all the software, with all of the sort of drawing software, art making software. Hold on, I'm gonna yawn. Out, demon. Like I'm doing this different selection manipulations. It's more the concept of it than anything else. Because every piece of software is going to have the same sort of tool set to some degree. So you're definitely going to, you know, once you learn how to do this in Photoshop, you can do it in pretty much everything. You just need to learn what it's called and how they refer to it, you know? Alright, so what I want to do here is I want to add this, and I'm going to rasterize it. And then we're good there, so I'm going to come in here, clean it out. The one thing that this software has that I find absolutely super intriguing is this little bar that pops up when you make a selection that pretty much allows you to do anything you'd want to do with a selection. And that is cool. And also, I see a major area where I messed up. We'll just pretend that wouldn't be getting light for some reason, I guess. Yeah, it's been quiet tonight. Alright, so what I want to do here is I've got the saturated line. When I select it, what I'm doing is control clicking and selecting, and this time I want these to be white. So I'm going to fill it with white, but there's little hints of black pixels, so we'll make a new layer and then fill that new layer with white and then get rid of that. And probably just delete that. And then I threw this down here because I wanted to get a selection off of it. And I think if I put a mask on this guy based on that selection, I missed my ink line though, which is a pain. That's interesting. Oh, I know why. Ding. Ha, except that it wasn't. So what we'll do there is we'll just go in and manually clean that up. Because that fill wasn't there when I made the layer. And so... Whoops, wrong one. That one. Dutch.
Now, have you...
Oh, okay.
I was wondering, Kevin, have you done an like one of these episodes where you actually show like how you set up your Photoshop workflow? Like we.
I mean, I've talked about it in the past. I haven't done anything specifically, so to speak. But I've definitely talked about it.
Because I know you have old episodes. Like if you wanted to go back, you could go through some of your older ones where you're using Photoshop instead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do use Photoshop quite a bit in some of my other files. If you go to YouTube and check out Kev Draws, and I think I'm looking at my Twitch page right now. I believe there is there's a banner link to YouTube. If you go to my channel there, Rico, you can definitely see that and check those out. But Dutch, that's very cool. So are you planning on being an artist professionally, or is it just a hobby? Okay, grab this again. So I got that purple again. Let's get our selection back. I mean, I think the important thing, though, too, is just to take your time, because, I mean, you can't rush learning this stuff. I mean, I've been using Photoshop since pretty much version 1, and so, you know, I'm an old guy, and version 1 of Photoshop came out when I was in high school. How come that's not working? What did I do wrong? What'd I do at?
I'm gonna learn it for animation. Yeah, and that's something.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen a lot of people talk about like using, like they've almost like used Photoshop or something like that as a replacement for like After Effects.
You can totally do that, and you can do that in this software too. But learning like how to animate with it is more about learning how to animate than it is technically what that is. Oh, you started this year. Okay, so are you in university or what we would call college in the U.S.? University or high school is what we call it in the U.S. before college. I mean, it's similar here. For anybody watching on the other channels, I got a question about some animation, so we're gonna...
I guess it's true. We sort of we answer questions without reading them out loud. That's not fair to everybody else.
No, it's not. So most any of your animation software is going to have a timeline, including Clip Studio Paint. They're no slouch when it comes to that.
If you could only own like one piece of software to do this type of thing, what would you use?
Oh, okay. I mean, for the price, that's why I bought Manga Studio at the time, was because it was so cheap. I mean, you can still get some of the cheapest version. I think is like $49 US.
And you don't have to rent it like you do with Adobe products now,
No, no,
right?
you have the license. The license is perpetual. Um, so yeah, all of this software has sort of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I see you say that you're handicapped, so I have other way to learn about. Um, so that's great. Um, the one thing about animation is that, and I don't know. I don't know how much you know. How much do you know about animation? And are you interested in traditional or 3D or? Um, I'm a big Blender fan for 3D, definitely. And I know Blender gets used a lot more in Europe than it does in the U.S. At least so I've heard, for obvious reasons. With the foundation being in Amsterdam.
Yeah, well, and I think
Oh,
Europe
okay.
Europe was a lot more open source friendly
Yeah.
before the U.S. was.
Right. Right. Well, yeah. So I mean, you can definitely animate in this, and the idea is that, and like the button as to what do I press, where do I go. That's all stuff that you can find out. That's not the hard part. Don't get bogged down in the tech. I mean, if you're going to animate, like if you're gonna to animate, it's more about knowing what you're going to knowing how to animate, right? Which is it was practicing and sort of figuring it out, right? So this is kind of like a rough version of the Gnome character from the Gnome Syndicate, which is the other comic strip that I draw. Okay, and so I put down a cell, and like I say, I know that I want another cell, I want another frame. So really, it's just about figuring out what it is that I want, and I know what that is, which has nothing to do with the software. I want another frame. I want another piece of paper, right? Because he's going to move. So I just have to find out what button does that. Okay. Now I want to turn on, and I don't use this for animation a lot, but I know that I want to turn on the onion skin, which is the transparency. My guess is it's that one. Enable onion skin. And honestly, I don't use this for animation a lot. So I'm going to set another key. Now what I'm doing, I mean, all the stuff that I'm doing right here has nothing to do with this software. This has to do with um,
That's pretty much a standard for how you would do animation in a 2D software like this.
well, it's more about knowing that you know I want him like I want him to turn his head, like that's what I'm doing, right? So that's where we're starting, that's where we're going. Those are called keys, and that's what I want to do. Now I know that I want to break this down, so I want to move this frame over. Let's do it on fours. So I'm going to put it on frame 5, right? That'll give me this 3 here in the middle to do a breakdown. And I can see that I have those. So again, I want my new cell, which is that one. Okay, so it's calling it 1A, which is fine. And I can see that I have the onion skin. I don't know if that's showing up super well for you guys.
I see a faint green.
That's good. That's good. So now it doesn't matter if it's Photoshop, if it's this. Um, Rico, that's awesome, dude. If you want to learn it all and guitar, I mean, but the software is not going to matter. Like it's more about now. I've got this animation, and I'm going to have a timing chart. So one's here, and I move that other drawing to the 5th frame here. And so now I want to figure out what my breakdown is, whether it's going to be right in between or whether I'm going to favor one or the other. And then it that comes down to animation, right? Like if you have a lot of keys here, it's going to move slow. Then this is super fast, and then it's going to slow down again. And that's just kind of how you animate, you know? So if I'm going to put my breakdown here on this 3, then I kind of figure out and this is terrible, by the way, but you know, maybe you know what I want to do? Maybe I don't want to just do it right in between. Maybe I want to have him drop his head more in the breakdown than he had previously, you know? And I'm going to have him like bring his eyebrows way down. And not only that, but I'm going to build some crazy motion into the mustache for this breakdown so that it doesn't go that way. And at this point, I'm literally scribbling, so you know.
And I mean, what you're doing right now looks really simple, but there is years and years of practice in what you're showing right now.
Yeah, I mean, and then you just keep filling that in. You keep working with that, you know. So I'm gonna turn the onion skin off. And of course, this is not, you know, this would need tremendous amount of work. But what my point is that it's not necessarily about the software; it's more about the principles and how that works. But even with this software, you can animate. You can do traditional animation right here with this, and it has nothing to do in this software that's holding you back. It's all just whether you know how to animate or not, you know. But Photoshop and this tool both have that. Let's see. Let's see what we're looking like here. I'll probably add one more glow in here like I did the others. Here we go. Grab this. Do that. Whoops. All right.
Here, I'll link to your YouTube here, so it's more obvious. That channel linking is pretty ugly from YouTube.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I thought that they would give you like a short one that was like an alias or something, or maybe a way of asking for that.
Yeah, I think they want you to pay for it.
Oh, of course.
Haha.
Well, yeah, it can't all be free, right?
Got to make that money.
Heaven forbid Google go under.
Then what would we do? Firefox everything?
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, I even forgot that I'm using the Chrome browser, right? Actually, Firefox wouldn't be too bad.
Oh, cool, Rico. I'm glad you're following. And I think it deleted your link to your YouTube. So, if there's any way that you can, you know, sort of type it in there and not have it delete it, by all means. But I tell you what, since you followed me, I'll definitely be able to find you. Yeah, it's okay. I'll be able to find you, and I will definitely take a look at your YouTube. I was gonna say I think that's the only. Start getting into some crazy layer management issues though.
Yeah, I can think of many times where we've had discussions about My Little Ponies.
Yeah, Lauren Faust did. I think was it. I think it's Lauren Faust. Faust. I know she's not doing it anymore, but she did a really great job revitalizing that cartoon. Totally respect. Big respect. It's tremendous respect. All right.
Still don't quite get into the ones that are more uh the more the human shape. The
Oh,
the
the
high school or
Equestria.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Equestria stuff. It's like if they're horses, that's cool. When they start becoming horse people, then it's like, okay, that's not really my bag.
Yeah.
You know, there may be people out there that enjoy it. More power to them.
Not feeling it. Awesome.
Oh, so she's doing some more. That's great.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah,
I know
she.
the community will be super happy to hear that.
I think the thing that I've enjoyed the most about it is they sort of know their target audience,
Yeah.
and they've been very open and inclusive to just about everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, like they go, hey, we know some of our fans are sci-fi geeks, so we'll throw in a Doctor Who reference.
Right.
No
Right.
problem. You know, and where you would think that, and I think a lot of more modern cartoons are a lot freer about being able to do that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, no, it's cool to see. They just need a Rick and Morty ponies.
Oh wait, that's why that did that. All right, hold on. Where are we? What layer was that? Was it one? Yes, that would explain that. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do here is selection shrink. Really shrink in millimeters. Jeez. Okay. Gotta get my typing back out. Can I not do a decimal? There we go. let's see. I think we got it now. There we go. Take layer 1. Load the selection. Get rid of that again. We'll feather this just... I'm going way too far with this guy, but it's all good.
You think you're doing too much?
Yeah, totally.
Because your colorist is going to go in and look at everything you do and scoff and then replace it with something good.
More than likely.
He may not scoff.
There could be scoffing.
It's a good thing he doesn't watch this channel.
Oh, he might. He should come hang out sometime. That'd be fun.
That would be interesting, getting his opinion of like the stuff that you do and feedback is like, oh man, that's going to be a pain to color. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know?
I do drop that on him sometimes. All right. I think we're going to call it here. Boom. All right. Everybody.
Looking good.
Across all channels. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed the Christmas music. And Rico Anime, nice to meet you. Thanks for chatting. And good luck. I'll check out your YouTube channel, and you can go check out mine. And for anybody else that wants to check out my YouTube channel, it's Kev Draws. If you're not watching this on YouTube, make a quick pass through all the chats. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think we're all good. All right, everybody. Thanks again, and we will talk to you later. Bye!